evening. Striking waste collectors in Birmingham have today stepped up their industrial action as the dispute enters its 5th week. They're increasing the hours they stop work from 2 hours a day to 3. With rubbish piling up high on many of the city's streets, their union has called on the City Council to negotiate a deal which will put an end to industrial action. Our reporter Sarah Bishop is out on the streets for us this evening. Sarah, the council says it's making headway in clearing up all the rubbish. Have you seen evidence of that?
Well, the council say they've managed to clear around a third of the city now of the waste that was piling up. Certainly this road in King's Heath is testament to that effort. We were here 2 nights ago, Melton Road in King's Heath. It was overflowing with rubbish, but now just have a look at this. An empty wheelie bin. It's a shame that the same can't be said for the rest of the city. The rubbish piles ever higher, but Birmingham's bin men aren't losing their resolve. Ones I spoke to on the picket line in Tyseley today seemed united and determined. Across the city, the council says it's doing what it can to tidy up, but many streets still pose a health risk. And here in Spark Hill, things are even worse. People have been telling me that other people from outside the area have been using their neighbourhood as a dumping ground.
We put up only 2 bags outside, and then our next door neighbours, they put up another 3. And then we checked again the next day, and there were 4 more bags put outside our door.
And in Erdington, residents in these flats say the build-up is now unbearable.
And we've got flies. Fortunately, the weather's not been too hot, but when the weather's hot, it's disgusting. There's a lady lives here with a toddler, a young toddler, and these are the bedroom windows. And so the poor children are unable to have their windows open, and it's a worry, it's a concern for the health of the children.
In a statement today, the City Council said that positive discussions are continuing to take place with the unions and that they hope to be able to resolve the dispute sooner rather than later. Unions say that the council has to acknowledge that its plan to change the working practices of binmen is flawed.
No one wants to go on strike and no one wants to cause this disruption for the public. My members want to be collecting rubbish, but they want to do it on their terms and conditions with their pay protected. And that's for the council to answer. The council needs to come to the table and discuss this with me.
One of the bins at the back of this lorry should go for recycling. But as it struggles to clear the city quickly, the council's now burning everything it collects. As this dispute rumbles on, that's another 500 tonnes of waste every day. And with bin men talking of action to the middle of September, possibly beyond, things have got about as serious as they can. Well, late this afternoon, the Union Unite released a further statement in which they said they were confident of talks with the leader of Birmingham City Council, John Clancy, to end this dispute. And in fact, in the last hour, we've had it confirmed from the council that a date is in the diary for those negotiations. As they say, perhaps there's an end to this dispute sooner rather than later.
Sarah Bishop, thank you. Yes, we'll hear from the council in just a moment, but for the first time in this dispute, a waste collector has broken his silence to the media, describing how the strike action is his last chance to save his job and home. He's currently on grade 3, earning around £22,000 a year. He asked us not to identify him because of fears he might be targeted. As he spoke to our reporter Ben Godfrey, he began with a message to people with bin bags piled up outside their homes.
I do apologise to all the residents of Birmingham for the rubbish that's been left out the streets. The way forward this is for the council to make their way to the negotiating table and sit down to resolve the dispute so we can all go back to work and do our jobs, because that's all we want to do.
You are a grade 3.
Yes.
You say you stand to lose £3,000 a year.
Correct.
Has the council offered you another position at the same wage?
They have actually, yes. We had some letters sent through. There's about 5-6 pages, double-sided, with all jobs, cemetery workers, social care. But they are saying that there are jobs available, but I don't want to do them jobs. You know.
Council says it wants to modernise the service because you're not efficient enough.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, modernise. You define what modernisation means. I mean, it's about saving money, isn't it? Modernisation, making cuts.
What impact is this going to have on your family?
Oh God. Well, I have a young child and everything. You know, I've got a mortgage to pay and everything. It's going to have a serious consequences on me. You know, because I've got a mortgage and I just can't see how I'm going to survive with my mortgage. I just can't see how I'm going to survive. I might have to sell my house.
Have you gone down the street
Yeah.
and deliberately avoided picking up rubbish when you've seen mounds of it?
We're instructed on a daily basis. We go to work and we're instructed where to go. For instance, we get maps.
Are you told to
Yes.
avoid picking up rubbish
Are we,
in certain roads?
No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. We are designated areas. When we go to work, it's on a map, and that's why people I think get a bit frustrated over this now. I think.
There's rubbish on your road, isn't
But
there?
yeah. Why be being collected now? No more recycling.
It feels a bit like the Wild West in a sense. You've got the council on one end,
Yes.
you've got you on the other.
Yes.
It's a standoff.
It is a standoff.
Who's going to give in
Well,
first?
it is a standoff. I want to go back to work and do my job and pick all the rubbish up and everything.
If I've got bins outside my house waiting to be collected, can you give those people an idea when this dispute might end?
Well, no, I can't, because it's just gonna. I think this will go on for a bit longer yet, until the council decide to come to the negotiating table and meet our union.
So what about that? What does Birmingham City Council have to say about the continuing problems of waste piling up on the city's streets? Well, a short while ago, Ben Godfrey spoke to Jackie Kennedy, in charge of the department responsible for rubbish collections. And he asked her if the council is close to a resolution with Unite Union.
Well, I'm really hopeful that we're very close. There's no job losses involved in this reorganisation of the Waste Management Service. We've actually got jobs for everybody. So we're hoping that we can carry on with some positive conversations.
That's not technically right, is it? Because you want to remove grade 3, the lead handlers. So that's job losses from the waste service though, isn't it?
No, because we're replacing them with alternative loaders, just on a different grade. But we've actually got grade 3 roles for everybody who is moving out of those leading hand roles.
And one bin man we've spoken to is looking at other grade 3 jobs around the council. One is working in a cemetery, the other one is working in a library as a security guard. Jobs he's not trained for, jobs he doesn't want.
We had a really successful jobs fair this morning where we've actually got the people who lead on cemeteries, lead on housing, lead on different roles, talking to people. We think with our leading hands we can actually bridge the gap in terms of training for all of these roles. There'll be other opportunities within the Waste Management Service themselves.
But you can't get over the line with Unite, can you, to reach a resolution to the detriment of thousands of residents in Birmingham? Will you make a concession?
What we're trying to do is to give the citizens of Birmingham the most effective, efficient and economic waste management service. This is in place in 70 plus local authorities around the country.
Many of those are privately run though, aren't they, and may have more money behind them.
We're very committed to in-house services at the council, at Birmingham City Council, so what we're trying to do is make sure that our in-house service is basically match fit.
People have seen piles of rubbish that haven't been collected for up to 6 weeks. I mean, that is outrageous. No taxpayer should expect that to happen, should they?
So we're making some really good inroads into the backlog. So a third of the city has been cleared this week.
In months gone by, you've advised people to put their recycling waste out in one bin, to their household waste in another area, and now you're going round and mixing them up and incinerating them together to bring the load down. How has it come to that?
Our priority at the moment is to clean the streets, so to clear the streets of the backlog, and that's what we're focusing on. This is a temporary arrangement.
When do you think this dispute will be over?
We'd like it to be over as soon as possible, and we will carry on talking to our trade union colleagues until we achieve that.
And if you'd like some more information about the strike with further background on why it's happening, there's a lot more information on our website. That's at bbc.co.uk/Birmingham. To some of the